Has Spectre Divide come back from the dead? I'm Brandon with esports.gg, and Mountaintop Studios invited me to go hands-on with Spectre Divide Season 1 Flashpoint. The team at Mountaintop gave me a rundown of everything they've updated, essentially dubbing this Spectre 2.0. And no, there was no mention of Shroud as the lead gameplay designer. That was a huge part of the game's marketing when it came out back in September 2024. Now, we're reaching the end of February 2025, finally receiving its first season and a huge content drop. I was given the opportunity to browse the game's menus, check out the Battlepass, and even play a couple of games on its new map with Mountaintop employees, including CEO Nate Mitchell. So let's start with the new content coming to the game. I already mentioned the map, named Canal. It's got your typical 3 lanes to an A site and a B site with a rather large middle portion. There are plenty of walls and ledges to take the high ground and use the game's signature duality, where you control 2 characters, move them with what's called a puck, and switch back and forth between them. Next up is a brand new sponsor. Sponsors are how you get your equipment and abilities in Spectre Divide, since there aren't any specific characters or heroes to play. Monarch Tactical is the name, and it's got a good mix of skills. There's the Sovereign Shell that gives you 300 shield for a short time, the Crosswall that puts up a T-shaped wall to help you take sights, and the Siphon, which you can fire through walls to drain enemy health and overheal yourself. Then comes the Battlepass, a first for Spectre Divide. There are over 70 rewards to earn, with 24 of them completely free. You'll find character cosmetics, weapon accessories, and even weapon skins. And if you do purchase the premium upgrade, each Battle Pass will have enough in-game currency that if you save it, you can get the premium version over and over and over again. With the main content out of the way, what's changed with Spectre Divide's appearance and gameplay? Well, the team seemed most excited about the added ability to sprint and the overhaul of the buy menu and how the economy works. In fact, CEO Nate Mitchell told me those were perhaps the 2 most challenging implementations. Here's what he had to say.
The 2 that immediately jump to mind are just sprint and buy menu 2.0, the new in-game economy. These are big changes that really kind of transform the sandbox and how you play. And so not only was there, a ton of ideation on sort of like how we could solve some of the key pain points from players, just a lot of prototyping and a lot of play testing. And it just took a while to kind of dial everything in and land in a place where we felt like we were still delivering on, the tack shooter dream that we wanted and the duality dream that we wanted, but also sort of like giving players more agency, more tools in the toolbox. And I'm really pleased personally with how they both shook out. I was a big sprint skeptic, especially, rewind the clock years. We talked about sprint, back when we started on movement, and I was like, no, sprint, boo, and now I'm a total convert, having played for many, many, many hours. So yeah, I think those were 2 of the biggest and most challenging pieces to really get right.
Now, you don't have preset pairs of weapons. The buy menu looks completely different, and you can choose any weapon on each side for your main character and your Spectre. In addition, they touted that the gunplay is much snappier, and in our experience, they were right. You pull out abilities faster, ADS quicker, and your weapons actually fire where you're aiming. Server optimization was also a huge focus, with a server selector added and overall improved matchmaking for Spectre Divide. Character customization was updated and is now what they call an RPG-light character creator. They've added more default options, so the variety of characters you'll see is much greater than it was at launch. This was followed by updated fidelity of those character models, as well as the weapon models. Lastly, the engineering team at Mountaintop Studios has spent hundreds of hours optimizing Spectre Divide so that higher FPS is possible, and when frames drop, you should barely notice. They've also upgraded their anti-cheat system to dish out auto bans, and target just about every well-known cheat, program, or mod that you can think of. While you're watching this, Spectre Divide Season 1 has already dropped. It arrived on February 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And did I mention it's on console now? PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S players can all try this free shooter. Everyone who does within its first 2 days gets the Cyberlord melee just for logging in. And I think that covers it. Can all of this be the saving grace? I mean, we're definitely going to give Flashpoint a try, but are the changes made by Mountaintop Studios to Spectre Divide enough to get you to jump back in? Drop a comment and let us know if you're going to play Season 1.